TEMA Talk is a BS-free zone with smart, funny and educational conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners sharing their stories and insights designed to help you succeed. The result is a video vault of wisdom, strategies and tactics on how to grow your business by increasing revenue, reducing costs and amplifying your market share. Welcome to TEMA Talk, the B2B show created to help entrepreneurs and CEOs succeed. Here is your host, business growth architect and founder of TEMA, Carl M. Gibbons.
Hi everybody and welcome to another TEMA Talk, the fast-paced BS-free zone with smart, fun, educational conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners sharing their insights and stories designed to help others succeed, and that's you. Now, you can see a familiar face on screen and you're thinking to yourself, have I clicked on to the wrong episode? Well, no, Frank Cipolla is no stranger to TEMA Talk. In fact, he appeared back in April. Frank is a former radio and TV news broadcaster who's been seen and heard, well, just about everywhere you can think of. His pictures are still in every post office in New York City. And diners. And diners, absolutely. Because he's been around now for almost 40 years in the world of TV and radio. Frank began his on-air career at several small radio stations in New Jersey, and his string of credits include working with such newsworthy luminaries as working on the Super Sales radio show on WNBC AM in New York City. He's worked
always pause for the shocking, the reaction there.
Oh, okay. Pause for reaction.
Okay.
Back
Continue.
into it. He's worked on Imus in the Morning and with Howard Stern. And for all of you Naples locals, you've probably seen Frank out and about. He's been a permanent resident down here, creating havoc since 2017. He worked for a short time as an investigative reporter on Fox 4 in Fort Myers, and he owns his own media coaching company called Contacts Media. And they tell me he's written a book. It's called It Shocked Even Us. What can I tell you? It didn't shock me, but it shocked some of us about his years and adventures in radio. Now, you're all thinking to yourself, well, Gibbons, what the hell's the matter with you? It was only on in April. We don't need to hear this bloke again. But Frank has got an announcement that he wants to share with everybody.
Yeah,
so Frank,
we have a great
away, man.
We have a great announcement. We are taking this to terrestrial radio, to streaming radio, and so on and so forth. We are starting a show which begins August 22nd on WGUF FM that will cover all of Collier County, a lot of Southwest Florida. It's a business-oriented show, just like you say, Carl, no BS. We're keeping it local. We're keeping it real. Yeah. It's called Open for Business with Gibbons and Cipolla. It starts 10 a.m. Saturday, every Saturday at 10 a.m. on WGUF FM 98.9.
Absolutely. I was blown away. We got the call from the radio station, in fact, from our friend Dave Elliott, who is a big fan of TEMA Talk. And Dave was like, we need to get you guys on FM. And it took how many seconds to make the decision?
I would say anywhere between 3 and 5.
Okay. Well, he can't count. Me, I was all in. Before Elliot had even finished speaking, I was like, we're in. All right. So for those of you that know me, I've been doing this gig for a long time. And I think that one of the things that we want to do, and I had no hesitation in working with Frank, because what we want to do is we want to make it real. Right. Yeah. This show isn't going to be about the Dow Jones Index and the exchange rate is this. It's going to be aimed and focused at you guys locally in Southwest Florida. What are the burning issues?
Carl, before we proceed, the last radio gig I had was for the Wall Street Journal Radio Network. I did the network news radio business cast on 500 some odd stations coast to coast on the Wall Street Journal Radio Network. I spent 6 years in that newsroom, and whatever I didn't know about business, I learned in those 6 years. And you're right, a lot of it can be dry. Talk about, the 7-day moving index and so on and so forth that'll put you to sleep. That's not what our show is going to be about.
No, we want We want local guests. We're going to talk about local issues. And inevitably, because we live in an international economy, and let's face it, Florida is a tourist-driven economy. Naples and Southwest Florida even more so. So there are going to be international aspects to it. And we're no stranger to that. You've only got to look at TEMA Talk. We've had guests on from Kenya, the United Kingdom, Egypt, Spain, I mean, all over. But it all affects us here, because if they stop coming, if they don't come here, they don't spend, they don't, this economy is crippled. So everybody, we're all linked to it in one way or another.
Well, let's use Hertz as an example. You know, based in Fort Myers, it's an international company. It's had some trouble of late, as you know. Yeah. But there's an example of a company that's based in Southwest Florida that has national and international implications based on what it does. But it's not only going to be that. It's going to be the guy that owns the body fender place. It's going to be the young man or woman who owns the plumbing store. We want to get into the minds of the small, medium, large business owner and help them out.
Right. Right. And we want to have it to have it's going to have a magazine type format. So we're going to have regular features. I'm just looking at some of our planning notes here. I mean, some of the fun things that we've got planned is that we want to have what I'm calling a gadgets, gizmos, and books corner, or reads corner. You know,
I thought we were going to call it Carl's Toolbox.
Carl's Toolbox. Well, okay, we've still got a couple of weeks to argue about. I mean, to discuss that, right?
Yes.
But anyway, you know, apps everywhere we go now. We've got an app on our phone, and we've got an app for this and an app for that. Well, are they any good? Do they work? It's not whether I think they're any good or Frank thinks they're any good or they work, but we'll get some reviews in. We'll check them out. We'll give you our 10 cents worth. But likewise, we're going to encourage you guys to phone in, because there'll be a live. None of this is pre-recorded. It will all be live.
Live.
So you can call in. I'm going to be looking at software that can help your business, whether it be CRMs. It really doesn't matter. Books. And again, you all know me. The fastest way to put me to sleep is ask me to read a book, right? It's not just Frank's book either. It's any book, to be fair, right?
You mean this book, right?
You mean that one, right? Yeah, get the plug in, right? I'm a big audiobooks.com guy. I listen to them all the while and have them playing in the car. And, you know, like everything else in life, there are the good ones and there are not so good ones. And we'll review those. And we want you to let us know, hey, you know, Gibbons is about, I found this book. I was listening to this one. I read this one. I've stumbled across this app. Let us know. Start emailing us in. Now, all of this happened real quickly. This is like everything in life. Sometimes it just comes along and you just, what is it? Richard Branson says, just grab it and work it out. You know, say yes and then work it out. And frankly, did I say frankly, Frank? That's what we're doing.
I've never heard that. I've never heard that before. But
there you go. No. The old ones are the best, right? We're having the website built at the moment. We're the social media sites. It's all being done right now. So please email us and ask for all the details and stuff. That's going to come up at the usual at the end of the show. But keep a watch out on Contact's media social media pages, Frank's social media pages, my social media pages, Tema's social media pages. We will get you there. We will get you there.
Well, two things. Last time we did a Zoom meeting, which was not aired, just between you and I. Your lovely bride came in the middle of it and brought you a spot of tea. I think it was high tea.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. I've made a spot of tea for myself today. I'm sorry I don't have the saucer, but here it is. There's a C on it for Cipolla, my last name's first initial, or contacts me. There you go. You don't have a saucer, but I am told when you stir it, Carl, if I'm not mistaken, it has to go back and forth and not touch the sides as opposed to around. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you never do that. You don't do that.
Oh gosh, no. That's the height of
shocking.
That's shocking in the height of bad manners.
It's shocking. And by the way, if you haven't noticed already, if you're a first-time viewer, first-time listener, or you'll be listening to the show next weekend, Carl has what I would describe as a terrible Brooklyn accent. It's just awful. I hope you understand him as the show goes on.
Well, I do know that I have a face made for radio. I've been told that countless times.
And we say that in love. We say that in love.
Hey, I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. I can take it. But actually, on a bit of a serious note then, we will be Facebook Live. We will be streaming it Facebook Live. That, whether that happens week 1, episode 1, don't know yet, but that definitely is on the agenda. It's on the talk. So again, you'll be able to see us creating havoc as well as listening to us creating havoc. Excuse me. Another segment, in fact, that I haven't shared with you yet, that I want to put into the show, is I'm going to call it Be Seen and Heard, and we're going to put out all of the upcoming networking events for the upcoming week. So all the big ones. So again, if you run a networking group, email us your dates, email us your meeting dates and where you are. Not only will we put it up on the website, but we'll give you a call out on the show. Now, clearly,
we should mention that the coronavirus is out there, so it might be a bit more complicated. It won't be here. It won't be here forever. But in you and I and any salesperson out there, you know, we're schmoozers. We're backslappers, handshakers, huggers. I'm a big hugger, okay? Eventually, we'll be doing all of that. Carl and I will be at the events joining you and so on and so forth. But we'll also indicate whether it's going to be a virtual meeting, whether it's going to be a physical meeting and so on.
Yeah. But our role is to connect you guys. That's what we want to do. We want to connect you, and we want to engage in conversation. That's what we want to do. This is, we have no, if you like, we've got no product, you know, but wait, order now and we will supersize this. That's not what this is all about. We're not going to double your order. We're not going to double your size. We want to talk about and get out there the genuine issues that are affecting the business owners of Southwest Florida.
Now, if I may say, you are certainly qualified to talk about business. People are watching your show and watching this now because they know you. But for people who don't, multimillionaire by the time you were what, 21 years old, 4 businesses bought and sold. I spent 40 years in radio and television doing interviews just like this on radio and on TV. Spent 6 years at the Wall Street Journal Radio Network, did all that sort of stuff. So we are eminently qualified to pass along to you as much knowledge, and Carl has more knowledge than I do with regard to this, but all that knowledge. I'm a business owner as well. I have been for the last dozen years or so, and before that, I owned a company that started in 1991. So for the last 30 some odd years, I've been a business owner, salesperson, and so on. And Carl, your reputation precedes you. I don't have to get into that, but you're welcome to do so.
Well, I thank you for those kind comments. But, you know, as bashful and as shy as I am,
yes, and introverted.
And very introverted, absolutely. Yeah, because don't forget, guys, as like we said at the top of the hour, this isn't meant to be that kind of, you know, and white papers where we're going to be discussing. Yes, it's going to be serious content. Everything is going to be, there's going to be, but we want to deliver it in a light-hearted, a friendly, and maybe even sometimes a little bit irreverent manner, right? You know?
Well, we can be irreverent, don't you think, once in a while?
Yeah.
You and we have that sort of personality.
I think we spar. We spar. I think that's the polite way of putting it across, right? We can spar.
We do.
Absolutely.
We nudge each other.
Absolutely. Now, we've got another first coming for you, because we are going to be coming to you from the cleanest, most hygienic, most sanitized studio in Southwest Florida, if not Florida itself.
I would agree with that.
Because the crew from GG Clean have said they're going to make sure that the place is totally sanitized, totally safe, and make it work for us, because, as they say, it's not clean until it's GG Clean. So we're excited to have them on board with us. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work with somebody with a mop hat on and a brush and a broom walking around the studio while we're trying to talk. But
at all times,
we'll figure it out, right? We'll figure it out.
We will. And we're so happy to have them on board. They are and always will be our first official sponsor. So we thank GG Clean, because you know what? It's not clean, Carl, until it's GG Clean. You know that.
Right. Hey, man, I know it. But Fred and GG, great people. They have a great team. They have a great business. And when Frank and I shared with them the Open for Business concept, there was no ooh, our hesitation, it was like, we're in.
Yeah.
We're in. This is exactly what business needs. So we welcome them on board. And if you want to be a part of us and you want to take part in the show, just reach out to us. Let's have a conversation and let's see where I can go.
Now you mentioned this, or you may not have, but we're going to have at least one person being interviewed on a weekly basis. Again, if you're tuning in just now, it's every Saturday at 10 a.m. on WGUF FM, which is 98.9. We'd love you to tune in. But if you're a business person in Southwest Florida, if you have concerns, you need not only call in, we might say, hey, this might be a good guest. The great thing about business, Carl, as you know, is you don't know everything. Years ago, when I was selling, I went into a place, pardon me, and the guy had a factory that just made buttons. His life was buttons, clothing buttons. He took me out onto the floor. I learned more about buttons in that hour or so that he showed me his manufacturing facility than I had ever known. And it was just so fascinating to me. Small buttons, what kind of buttons, where do the buttons go? To him, buttons were his life. He loved his business, and he was happy to share that with me.
Right. And well, absolutely, you're right. But it's the guests. What is it they say? Content is king, right? Yeah. And so we're looking for exciting, dynamic guests. We're looking for entrepreneurs and business owners that have got a real story to tell, and that they want to share with our listeners. Now, notice I said share and tell. I didn't say sell. We're not, if you want to run an ad, be your guys, we'll talk to you. We're no problem there. But if you want to come on as a guest and share your story, then it's a sales-free zone. But don't worry, we'll make sure, just like, we get it, we understand. We'll make sure that we get the name of your business out there and how people can contact you and your website and your phone number and all that kind of stuff. But it's the story that we want. And we've got some pretty exciting people lined up. I can't give out all the names. No. You can see me casting my eyes here to my left because that's our guest list. And some of them I'm still waiting for the go. It's not the go, no go. It's the go and the when. Right. Yeah. So I don't want to give out some names, but I mean, I'm going to let, I don't know, what can I tell you? I'm going to let Victor Antonio, I'll drop that name, the world's #1 sales trainer. I'm going to let Johnny George's name drop because Johnny, well known in the Southwest Florida community, as you all know, appeared on Shark Tank and absolutely crushed it and went from zero to international worldwide hero literally overnight. Eco warrior, water conservationist. He'll be around. We're also not going to let our local leaders, our local civic leaders get away. We're going to hold them to account. We're going to call them onto the show and say, look, what's going on? Where does the future hold for us? What are you as one of our civic leaders going to be doing about it? Not from a political perspective. We don't want to get into that. But we
no
just
politics.
Want to get
it's a politics-free zone.
Politics-free zone. Yeah. Frank, as soon as you go down that road, you're on a no-win. You're on a no-win, right? Okay.
And we had this conversation in private. We're not only looking for business people, entrepreneurs to tell their stories. We are looking for the best people, the best stories. We want to make sure that every week we have the best guests we possibly can. And it won't be a 40-minute conversation, although they certainly in some cases deserve as much. It's going to be a 10-minute conversation. We'll get to the points real quick, and then we'll move on to more fun and entertaining stuff.
Right. Our goal for you guys is we want you to leave every episode with one little nugget, with one little, really? Didn't think of that? Didn't know that? Didn't know about that? I can try this, I can try that. And as long as you leave with just that one little nugget, the whole hour will have been worthwhile.
We have a segment here called Gibbons Tips. Am I right?
Well, I think that we were playing around with we've got Gibbons Tips and also what would Gibbons do?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. What would Gibbons do?
Right.
Or WWGD. Yeah, what would Gibbons do?
What would Gibbons do? So this segment, we're going to invite all you business owners to email us in what's a current challenge you have within your business. Now, you don't have to We won't read out your full name on air, and we won't mention your business unless you want us to. You can tell us that. But we will just say, for example, Frank from Naples. Frank says,
right,
give us your challenge, and I'll give you my insights on air, live on air, and I'll say, this is what I would do in that particular scenario. And it doesn't matter to me what sector you're in. Between
the two of us, we've seen a lot in our years, and I'm sure we have an answer for just about every problem. There are some things we've never seen before, issues that affect us right now, the economy, coronavirus, and so on.
Right.
But we have that institutional knowledge that we could help you out with. So certainly it's a place to stop by and listen to.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, if you have a better answer than what Gibbons can come up with,
sure.
Again, we want to hear from you. We want to hear about it. So
Agreed.
a lot of fun. I am excited to be co-hosting with Frank. It's our first time, if you like, working together in a scenario. So I'm excited about that, and I am beyond excited about the prospects of the show. So
I am as well. I'm still curious why your name comes before mine, but I'm okay with that.
Well, because I'm better looking than you.
And we're happy that GG Clean is joining us as our first sponsor.
Yeah.
The first of many.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Frank, just remind everybody again, where do they find us? How do they find us? And how do they engage with us? What have they got to do?
Very easy. We're going to be on starting next Saturday, which is August 22nd, 2020. And every Saturday after that at 10 a.m., it's called Open for Business with Gibbons and Cipolla on WGUF FM radio. And you're going to have some fun. We're going to inform, entertain, and give you some advice. And we're going to learn as well, because that's part of it, Carl. We're going to learn as well from people working in Southwest Florida.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's it. That's our exciting news. That's the gist. A quick 20 minutes of business banter has just flown by. I want to thank you all for listening to TEMA Talk. TEMA Talk isn't going away. Just think about it under a new name, under a new life, on a new slot, on a new channel, on a new day. I want to thank the team at Guerrilla Media for, as always, making this thing happen. They twiddle their knobs, they do their thing, and they make it happen. And I'm sure they'll be doing the same thing for Open for Business. I want to thank you guys for watching and listening. And don't forget, all of the past episodes aren't going to go away. We've still got the video vault of wisdom at thirdeyemanagement.com. We're going to be adding to that now with an audio archive of business wisdom that we want to share with you all. It'll all be on thirdeyemanagement.com, and they're all jam-packed with episodes with strategies and tactics on how you can grow your business. So I'm not going to say for the last time, but for the last time on TEMA Talk, I want to say to you all, stay safe, stay in touch, and most importantly, make sure you are there on August the 22nd, 10 a.m. Where have they got to go, Frank?
They're going to go to WGUF Radio 98.9. You will hear, see. We're going to have a live stream of you as well, and us in the studio. So, I mean, it's an extravaganza for the senses. Let's call it that, Carl.
And I promise to wear clean socks.
And
so with that, everybody,
please bring tea. We want to make sure that we have
we'll bring tea. We'll bring tea. I know somebody that can make that happen. All right. So everybody, stay profitable. Thank you for watching. I love you guys, and we'll see you on the other side. And with that, it's Gibbons, and now Gibbons and Cipolla, and we are
open for business.
And we're open for... Good call. See, that's why I've got him along, right? That's why I've got him along. See you guys.
What a team.
Take care.